Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Challenges and Opportunities in 2008. And of course, we're fortunate to have with us a longtime member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Dr. Kimbrough. And of course, Dr. Kimbrough, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
It's my privilege to be here, Dr. Haney.
Well, Dr. Kimbrough, I can simply say that you are certainly no stranger to our audience, nor are you a stranger to Nashville or in terms of the United States of America, because you've been involved in this whole activity dealing with the NAACP for a long time. And what I wanted to do this morning was to simply give you an opportunity to talk about how you first became involved with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and move on through there, and then perhaps mention some of the things that might be some of the challenges and the opportunities that we as individuals have. And we've got a young man who's going to also come later to talk about what young people are doing in the NAACP. Let's do it from that perspective.
Well, I'll try to be as brief, and that's very difficult, but it's a pretty long road. But when I went to Tuskegee in 1956, there was no NAACP in the state of Alabama. The state of Alabama saw the NAACP as a threat to their so-called Southern way of life. And that meant that black people couldn't vote. You let them stay in the line maybe for long hours at a time, and still they get up there and you ask them how many bubbles in a cake, a bar of soap. So they still didn't get registered. So inasmuch as the NAACP was non-existent in the state of Alabama, when I graduated from Tuskegee in 1960, that's one of the first things I did when I had an opportunity is take out my membership in the NAACP. Because I knew if that many people were against it, it must have been very good for me. Of course, the NAACP, as it met its challenge then, it was organized to see that there was social, economic, political justice. Education, for instance, was one of the goals of the NAACP, to see that the African-American colored people, if you would please, had an opportunity to have an unfettered education. So, and the challenge is still there now. It's still there now because we just see that this redistricting, it's racial orientated, and call it what you will, but when it boils down to it, you have segregated schools.
And so in a real sense, you believe that it is as important for individuals, Dr. Kimbrough, to be involved in the NAACP today as it was when you started, became involved in the 1960s. Would that be a fair statement? Well,
I think someone has said, whatever brings you out of the water, you use that to keep you afloat if you're drowning. And it was the NAACP on the February 12th, 1909 that came into existence to deal with a number of the inequities, racial inequities in our society. And do we have economic justice now? Do we have political justice? In fact, this 2008 campaign is boiled down to, unfortunately, it has to involve race. There's always this need. Politically, economically, we do not have economic justice. Our communities are deteriorating because young blacks, this is not to give an excuse, we need to behave. It's unacceptable behavior. Many of the robberies, the thefts, if you please, the killings, if you would, take place because people are disorientated in our society, and the spin for this disorientation is racial injustice.
Very good. And of course, Dr. Kimbrough, we're getting ready for our first commercial break. But this is the information that we wanted to receive from you in terms of where the NAACP stands in 2008. And at the same time, you're telling us now that it is as important in 2008 that Africans become involved in the political process, that we seek economic justice, and that we deal with our schools even in 2008, just as we dealt with them in the earlier periods of separation and segregation.
They're still in the playing field, on the playing field, and we must register people to vote. We must do whatever we can to see that we have pride.
Very good. And let me thank you for bringing that information back. And let me encourage our audience to tune in for the second segment of our show. For today,